All right, everyone, welcome to day 2 of our 2 days long, very intensive, 10 hours every day session. Um, it's about N8 11 Labs vibe coding. We're building an actual voice AI agent that performs something like Samantha from the movie 2013, which is kind of like your AI companion. It talks to you, or she talks to you, or he talks to you, depending on what kind of voice you picked on 11 Labs. And he or she can, or let's call it for the simplicity, it can save notes inside a vector database using an N8N workflow that we have done yesterday. And you can find the video URL of yesterday's recording over 8 hours in the comments of this video, in this live stream. I will just paste it right away after 2 minutes. And today we're focusing entirely on vibe coding. What we will do is we'll build a web application using Next.js, TypeScript. We'll connect that web application to the interface of the APIs that we have built, or the webhooks that we have built yesterday in N8N, which writes and reads nodes inside this vector database inside Supabase. And in order to do that, we will be doing 100% vibe coding. We'll be using Claude Code primarily. We'll be using Cursor. And additionally, we'll be using a tool called Taskmaster. Through the MCP connection of that, we'll connect it with both Cursor and Claude Code. This entire setup is called VibeFlow. It's a new open source project that I have been working on. Today is literally the second time that it's looking at public face. The last time was 2 days ago in AI Builders. I'm also a co-host of AI Builders and also the moderator of AI Builders. It's a monthly meetup where I demoed VibeFlow, but today we are going to use VibeFlow throughout the day. It's going to be 8 or 9 or 10 hours of a day, and we'll make this application open source so that you guys can use it for your own sake. The current implementation of N8N and also the current implementation that we will achieve today is not production grade. It needs more contribution. It needs more people to help us achieve this kind of a setup. Therefore, I call upon all developers, all N8N experts, all voice tech experts to please contribute to these 2 repositories that I'll put in place today, or maybe 1 repository containing all the JSON files of the template of N8N workflows, and also all the JSON files of the tool configurations of our 11 labs, and also the Notion document that we have been building, which was really in detail how it works. So we're going to start in just a minute. I have a small tech issue on my camera to set it up. We'll give a little bit chance for others to catch up and join. So please give me just 1 second. Indeed, one thing I would like to do before I resolve my tech check problem is I request you guys to do me a favor. And apparently, no, the tech problem is not solved. I request everyone to do one favor. I do this voluntarily. I don't get paid by any organization. The only ticket that you can give is reposting this post that I'm going to do. If you can repost this, it will reach to more people, and it can, let me quickly put this so that they can see it already in the graphic here. So if you repost this post, it may reach to more people and they may join this right away today with us together. Otherwise, the problem is that if it is a recording, especially for 10 hours, people tend to forget and not do it or get lazy. So therefore, please share this as soon as it goes live. I will leave the link to this in just a minute to you guys. This is really high quality content that we are looking at, really intense and really important, that a lot of people should already start diving into this amazing content right away. So I'm going to put this LinkedIn post. All right, so here we are watching, at least we are 13 people. I'll give some time for others to join, and also I resolve this tech issue that I have right now, and then we will see each other in just a minute. I see I have two iPhones. It was connected to the wrong iPhone. There we go. Tech check is done. Technical problems can be always there. It's just about the fact that how you deal with technical problems. Just don't lose your mind. Keep it cool and you'll find out what to do. There we go. Alrighty, so we are gonna have a long day in front of us. It's gonna be a lot of more fun today. Yesterday we had a lot of fun. I'll do some recap and I'll run some numbers and I'll tell you guys how much special you are, especially all of you. So we'll just give the benefit of doubt to a few more people joining in for a couple of more minutes. But what I'm looking at is 14 extremely special people. 2 of them in the room with me. Thank you so much for coming, guys. You guys are really special. Ashkat and Aram. The reason that you guys are special, I'll tell you in just a minute. But since you guys came a long way, I'd like to give you guys a microphone. Please talk. Who are you? Where are you from? From how long are you living in Germany? What do you do? What's your background? And so on. So we know you a little bit more. And then I'll come and tell you guys why are you so much special.
So I should look here, right?
Yes.
Hey, my name is Ashkat. I participated yesterday online. Today I want to come on site. So yeah, nice to be here. And I'm from Kazakhstan. I've been in Germany since 2022. I worked as a product manager, and now I'm learning different things. I've learned this recently, finished the data analytics bootcamp. Now I'm learning AI, so I'm constantly learning and want to do something meaningful. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have fun today with vibe coding.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let me see what happened to the camera. Okay, let me. You can have a seat so that it looks nicer. It's just the camera is like that.
Hello, my name is Hiram. I am an IT professional and I have worked in a different role, developer, DevOps engineer, support engineer for some long time. But right now I'm trying to deep dive into AI agents and everything around AI. So I found ML Sayar through one of my mutual LinkedIn connection and he suggested me to attend his this workshop which he presents. And so I am here. I was here yesterday, and I am here today to learn about AI and all the magic it is there around AI from ML, like all of you guys who are there online.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Aaron. And it was very nice to meet you yesterday. We had a very nice conversation. All right. So why do I think you guys are so much special? You're really, probably you're less than 1% of the population. And I'll now prove it why. Let me see how many people join now. That percentage might change. So we have 17 people like right now watching. You guys are also very, very, very special. So I'm going to take 17 as my number. And I would like to give first a little bit attribute to David, Emery, Zooplay, whoever are you, Derson, April Grace, Mekidor, Ashkat, you're also there. And Koenig and Michael. You guys are all very exceptional people. The reason is this. Look at this. We had, it must have gone to my past because it was one day event. Here, look at that. 802 people joined, 802 people. For this, I will get a Google Sheet. Oh, VibeStage is running. I didn't turn it off. I should say that if you go to vibestage.emilsire.com, you can send me these emojis and I can see it and you can ask me questions. I can see it here. The questions is down. Let me quickly fix that. So once you send me these questions, those questions come to me like this as a hand gesture, and I can go and see the questions and answer them. So this is VibeStage. One person dropped, it's okay. I have a complaint to make mostly to everyone who didn't join. And the reason is very simple, because we are in a very, very different situation right now. We are in a situation where the jobs are hard to get. Let me quickly fix this. For some reason, the camera is not my friend today. The continuity is not my friend today. But anyways, what we see here is a sad story, but unfortunately, we'll make it a happy story in just a minute. So total registrations, we had 802. Total live, we have 16, 1% drop, thank you. Total in person, 2. So like total people who are right now watching is literally these two numbers, 18 people. And if that is 100%, what is, wait a minute. So you guys are 18, right? So if that is 100%, what is the percentage that you guys are right now sitting on? 2%. Literally 2%. You are the top 2% of people. Now, my message to those who registered and didn't show up is that you're going to miss on a lifetime of a journey. I'm offended. I don't care. Thank you so much for joining, at least registering, giving me that false hope. But I don't get paid for this if you show up or you don't show up. But I'm sad for you that you missed a lifetime opportunity, because the amount of information that goes through these 20 hours is not simple. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of connected small little dots. You cannot rewatch this video. The recordings are there. I don't know what you were doing, but I have two little kids, 1.5 years old, 6 years old. My parents are coming all the way from the US to visit me in Germany. My wife alone is working at home, and I feel so guilty about that. And I yet didn't cancel it or reschedule this so that I do not drop the number of attendees. And then you guys register this, and you give me a hope that you guys are going to come online and stay there and go through it for your benefit, and yet you don't show up. That's really offensive. Please do not register out of FOMO, and I have requested this, everyone, especially for my championship program, especially for my paid program. Don't make data noise, please. This is not ethical. This is not right. I'm here to democratize AI education. I'm here to bring AI education to the masses. I'm here to bring AI education where it belongs. If you make that kind of a noise to my data, that kind of a noise makes the algorithms go crazy and think that I'm a scam. I'm not a scam. I'm a real person trying to do a real job. So please, if you register, do show up. Otherwise, don't register. That's emotional. I don't really get emotional, but it's emotional when you count on people and they don't show up. And if they show up, yesterday we had 77 people online. I don't know what made them drop out. Like, I'm from Afghanistan, or my story, I took 1 hour to do the intro, whatever it was, I don't care. There is some good data sitting there. You lost an opportunity of lifetime to get something really, really good. But don't worry. It's just your loss, not my loss. All right, so let's go and see what is happening today. Today we have a full loaded day again. And today we are going to make a web application. For those of you who are joining just now, we are maintaining everything in this Notion page. I'm going to send the link of this Notion page to you just now in about a minute or 10 seconds. You should be able to follow along while I copy paste things in this Google Sheet. 23 people. Maybe some people are lazier than me, just joining in. Or they heard my complaint.
I'm sharing in my social media. Maybe
Yeah.
my friends are joining.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for the repost, everyone. Thank you. Let me check out if there's any attention needed from the LinkedIn post. Any blockers there? There are questions. There were some questions left over from last night. I will check that. Only 4 reposts. Thank you so much, April. Neil, thank you so much for the repost. Ashkat, thank you so much for the repost. Emery, lovely, thank you. All right, so let's go to real deal. Complaints aside, everything, it's their fault. It's not my fault. Alrighty, so what do we have here on this sheet? Today, we're going to do the following things. We're going to right away jump to terminal basics. I'm going to tell you guys what is that terminal, like that thing that everybody is afraid of. You're going to learn it today, and you're going to learn it the good way. And then we're going to open a GitHub account, like literally go and tell you guys everything about what you need to know in order to save your code on GitHub. You'll create an account if you don't have one. And then we will go and do Git basics. This is not a typo, it's Git, it's just the software, not GitHub. GitHub is the repository where you store software, but Git is the software underneath it. And we'll get to know that in great detail. We'll get to know Git. And then we will go and do the configuration of Vibeflow. Vibeflow is this tiny little orchestration of multiple AI agents that I have built. Cursor, Cloud Code, Taskmaster, all those three together through an MCP connection. It works and it generates codes in a so-called YOLO mode. And in the process, you'll also learn how to install Docker containers and spin off a Docker container and let that YOLO mode, or the so-called dangerously skip permissions flag, on Cloud Code, so that you can let Cloud Code run for multiple minutes, if not hours, to generate code, and very, very high quality code. We'll learn that today. And then we'll go in and build a voice note front end, something that our webhooks, our n8n webhooks will connect to, a front end where we can use either for text chat or for voice, to take those voice notes that we did yesterday with Postman and as well with Samantha's voice interface. So we'll build that one. And then we will go and integrate both the ingestion. Yesterday, you guys saw that what we have built was we could ingest information to our entire RAG system, and we could query things from our RAG system. And we'll build that interface that can interact with it. So let's go and start the day. First one first, terminal. What is a terminal? But before going there, I would like to attend all the questions and then see what is there. For how long the Notion document will be available in general, I'll keep it alive until I have money in the bank. AML, how can we give the n8n template that we can consume this? I joined from Australia last night, but couldn't find the end-to-end flow. Also add issue with embeddings in Supabase. So the end-to-end workflow is, let me show you where you can find it. It is somewhere, I think it makes sense that I put the end-to-end workflow in a new, where can I put it? I wish I knew Notion more. Notion is not that easy to understand. Why can I not put some files here right away? This should be a Notion feature. I should be able to put like files here. I can't. I want to put them here, as I'll call them on the top. I'll say templates, or I'll say n8n templates plus 11 labs tools, because tools have this JSON output, the others don't. So let me put that for you guys. What the heck is this going on here? Pressing a button. Oh yeah. Okay. So we are going to first do those two uploads of the files, otherwise we will forget, and then we will continue to the terminal thingy. So the first thing is that we are gonna put the NA10 templates for ingestion and for query, end-to-end templates. I need my brain here, Mr. Apple, Mr. Tim Cook. If you promise that you'll provide me continuity, please provide continuity continuously. Alrighty, so we need to go to my NA10 instance and get the templates of yesterday and then paste it there. So the first one was ingestion pipeline. This is the full end-to-end workflow. It should just work fine when you do it, when you copy paste it for you. And then the second one is the query. Just let me descriptively name it so that you can easily find it. Ingestion NA10 workflow. Query NA10 workflow. Otherwise, this code might not be super descriptive on what the hell it is. So that was the ingestion. This is the query pipeline. And then we get our 11 labs tools, JSON. So we had 2 tools, I believe. I wish agents could also be exported so that I can give you guys the agents one. Oh, out of stress, I forgot to put this screen recorder. Anyways, we didn't officially start, so I will put the screen recorder as soon as this is done. Aram, please, can you remind me to start the screen recording as soon as I start the terminal basics, the lesson? What's wrong with something wrong with 11 Labs? Not loading. Never mind. I'll copy paste the 11 Labs later on. I hope I will not forget. If I forgot, then you guys can write me a message on something. So here, you can find everything here. I didn't forget to put the QuickTime player. All right, so let me get this coffee. Okay. So we are going to learn everything about the basics of terminal. And I'll start from, can we close this place? So the background noise is okay. There is a bill happening, like church near to this Corking space where I'm based. Yeah, you can close it. So what we are. Thank you for those emojis. I really need that motivation, wherever you are, Mr. Perfect. All right, so now we are going to learn how to build things in. What the fuck am I saying? I'm totally not in my mood today. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, so now we are going to build or start building our interface or our front end full stack web application using Next.js and Supabase. The very first lesson we're going to start with is terminal basics. Sorry, yesterday I lit the recording, especially the screen recording going on forever. So you guys, like, literally, if you go in and find this YouTube that I just released this morning, is going to be like insanely long, 8 hours, and we're talking with each other. It's not really high quality, so 8 hours long. What I'm trying to do now is, like, between the pauses, I'll stop the screen recording so that you guys, like, if you're watching the playback, there is no pause in between. And then when I say, like, okay, now we go in a break out of like 15 minutes, and then you pause the video if you're watching it again, and then you can, like, take as many minutes of pause that you need. You don't need like 15 minutes of nothing being recorded. And also, it was painful, 135 GBs of data being uploaded to the internet. It was like insane. I tried to do it yesterday so that I can make sure that you guys get some really high quality. I think it's going to be a 4K or something. I don't know, like, even didn't check that. But yeah, exactly. It is a 4K video. So you get 4K video playback. So like the camera and the lighting and everything is very, very nice. I don't want to overload this. It's going to be an 8-9 hours long workshop, but probably this screen recording video will end up being like, I don't know, 5 hours, 4 hours or something, so that you can easily follow along. Therefore, I'm going to stop screen recording time to time. All right, and we are managing everything through this Notion page. So the first lesson we're going to capture is terminal basics, and I'll fetch new lectures as soon as we're done. We move this one here, and then we fetch new lessons here. And on the way, when we get new things, and then we'll create a new lesson in here. Alrighty. Thank you so much. I'm an emotional guy, really emotional guy. Like, I get easily upset and I get easily happy. Like those little emojis that you guys are sending, those amazing 21 people are sending, makes my day. Please do send me some love. Otherwise, I'm a social animal. I can get offended so very, very quickly. Or send me one of those emojis and see what I say. Like one of those emojis, or this is okay, but one of those emojis, you send me those ones, you see what I say. Especially when there is a bug or when there's something not working, you send me those ones, and I could curse you in Farsi language, and that you need an Afghan friend to translate it for you. Okay, let's see if the voice is okay. Yeah, there we go. Or in Hindi language, actually, you'll find a lot of friends to translate that to you. In German, I haven't yet learned how to curse in German language. Oh, maybe, yeah, only 1 or 2 words, not more. Alrighty, so let's start. The first lesson we have on the list is terminal basics. Why am I here to teach you guys terminal basics? Why? Like, look, we are becoming vibe coders. Believe it or not, you, Mr. Wonderful, not the Kevin O'Leary, but you, Mr. Wonderful, who is still coding with Vim or with VS Code or I don't know, Notepad++, or whatever. These skeptics, like those senior engineers, I have been coding for 23 years nonstop. I jumped on this train very, very early on. With my startup VoiceKit, building a voice AI agent, and lately building voice AI agents and any other type of AI agents for SMEs. I work for Klarna, Siemens, Allianz, and you name it, a $300 million scale up. I was the fourth hire. I scaled up like literally the whole supply chain management for them. So I have been hands-on coding, managing teams and coding and managing teams. And now I'm back to coding for the past 3 years or so. So I jumped on this train. If you are Mr. Wonderful and you want to do something that is gonna, you think that this AI agent development is something that you don't want to do, like you want to stay only with PHP and you want to code only with VS Code, Copilot, or not use the latest AI assisted development frameworks, then you're missing a big opportunity. And from that person who's really, really experienced writing code, knowing everything, memorized all the documentation and all 4 levels or 5 levels, actually starts from 0, all the 5 levels of JavaScript maturity levels. I tell you, if you don't use AI, you're actually 10 or 20 or maybe 50x slower than an engineer like myself, knowing and using AI for code generation. And today, the whole subject of today is that. Now, from that 23 years experience engineer to the new so-called AI native engineer or vibe coding or vibe coders, all the memes aside, vibe coding is there to stay, and you're going to learn it today the right way. The memes are okay. It generates code you don't understand. That's your problem. You need to start learning coding so that you can understand and ask AI, why did you do that? Fuck. Continuity. I'm not going to do continuity anymore. I need to find a solution for this. Like all the setup that I'm doing, this live streaming setup, is something that I've been doing for like literally a couple of months now. And I built this myself. It's a software called VibeStage. Right now, what's failing is not the software; it's vibe-coded software. The vibe-coded software is not failing. What is failing is continuity, the software of Apple. And I believe it might be something to do with my phone. I'm going to turn off and restart my phone. Hopefully, it's going to work. Restart works most of the time, but. Now let's go to terminal basics, okay? This is the software that I built, like the normal thingy. So I will just put this camera until my phone is restarted. So why terminal basics? That's the question. Like the reason I would like you guys to know terminal basics, especially for vibe coders or especially for those who are just starting and they're not programmers, the reason I want to show you terminal and Git basics is because it's so core to the level. Like Claude Code is something, a CLI, so-called CLI, command line interface. It's a terminal level software. The reason they went there is because everything on the surface, all the UIs are changing. We are going through a big paradigm shift. The UI that we see today is going to change. And it's going to change dramatically. The UI will change. I wish this was working. I'm making a lot of expressions on my face. It should have been captured, man. So the UI is going to change. And why it's going to change, I'll tell you in a minute. We used to have, I need to diagram it. Give me just a second, please. I will explain exactly why the UI is going to change and why Anthropic, such a big company, went with a CLI and why I want you guys to learn terminal basics. as the very first lecture of our vibe coding. Wait a minute. I hope it's gonna work. There was a restart, something buffer, because I used continuity yesterday for like 8-9 hours. It didn't stop. Maybe there's some buffer issue or something. Now it should hopefully work so that you guys can get good quality content. Okay, so the UI is going to change. Why? Because we built these little things called keyboards for a very, very good reason. Or mouse. Why? Because we didn't know the language of computers. The only language computers knew was 0 and 1. And now computers learn how to talk our language. So the first thing that will disappear is going to be keyboard and mouse. The second thing that is going to disappear is going to be the GUI, graphical user interface. What we built yesterday is just the glimpse of what's coming in. And 10 years from now, the way we see SaaS, software as a service, will change. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, says SaaS is dead. And there is a reason for that. Because the interface is changing. Software as a service, as we know, is going to change, but people will still use software, and they build their own software, like this Vibe Stage thingy, or like that. Everyone else will start building their own stuff so that they can do their day-to-day work. If you don't learn Terminal as a native AI native developer, you're going to leave a lot of opportunities on the table that you can connect to other little services and become way more stronger. Therefore, you need to learn Terminal. Everything else on the surface is going to change. Terminal is not going to change. Git was Git, as Linus Torvalds, or whatever his last name, the founder of Linux, built Git. This guy built it until now. It's not changed. It's the same thing. The commands we're going to learn now is something I learned in MS-DOS in 1998. Like ls, mkdir, rfrm. These are all the same commands. All these 23 years of my career, it didn't change. So what you're going to learn probably is going to stay for a very long time. But if you learn which button to click in order to add a file to GitHub, the UI of that software that you're using could be Cursor, could be VS Code. That will change. And then you will be like roaming around what to do next. So therefore, let's start with our lecture on terminal basics. In continuity, should not turn off. So, as you guys know, from yesterday, we have this whiteboard. We'll do all the whiteboard sessions here. Aram, can you please have a look on the thing, if it is any questions, anything coming along on YouTube?
Amir says he wants to join here, but
somebody is at the door?
no, he's on the YouTube. I want to join in person. Where is the address?
CSE Berlin. I can share it here. If you're watching the YouTube, then you can come. But when you come, you can't call me. Just search this, CIC Berlin. You'll see the address. It's also in the, there we go.
I answered him on Luma app chat.
Yeah, there you go. That's the address. When you come at the gate, then let me know. I'll pick you. Maybe let someone know in the chat in WhatsApp group, or use this live stream to ask, or use this feature. No, this feature. This comes to my face. So because my phone is busy there, if you call me on my phone, I won't be able to pick it. So just use the Vibe Stage to ask a question, and then we'll know that you're downstairs. Then I'll come and pick you. Okay, so let's go start the terminal basics. Okay, what we want to do is learn this terminal. I don't know what kind of computer you have, but probably you have one of the three famous operating systems. Either you have a MacBook, or you have a Windows, or you have either of the two machines, but the operating system is a Linux distro. If you have a Linux distro, I don't need to teach you. You're already a guru. If you have a Windows, I'm sorry, I don't know which terminal is a good one. I heard Bash or something comes natively. You guys have Windows? Yeah. Which terminal are you using?
Something in VS Code from the Bash terminal.
Okay, so with VS Code, a terminal comes in built-in.
Yeah.
It is like literally Linux terminal. It's not a Windows terminal. Yeah. Okay, nice. So if you are on Windows, you need to just go to Visual Studio Code download, and then you download that software, which is not my recommended software. My recommended software is Cursor. So if you go and download Cursor, Cursor is a better one. It's the kind of so-called fork of this. And then you should have a terminal. If you have a MacBook, you should press Command space, and then you get this so-called Spotlight search, and you type terminal. This comes along with the MacBook that you have bought. Now, this is a terminal that's a little bit different than the terminal that I am running. It's called iTerm2. If you see, it has these tabs. I can swipe through them. I can see these little extensions that I've installed. It shows the battery, the CPU usage, the RAM. Right now, 34 GB RAM is being used, and so on and so forth. I have a search field where I can search and things like that. This is called iTerm2, and you can install iTerm2, and you can customize iTerm2 from a tutorial that I'll lead you to, so that you can easily find it. You go to my YouTube channel, and then if the internet works, something is off today. The stars are not aligned. Okay, so not in the playlist, you'll find this course called Vibe Coding 101 Crash Course. And here there will be like a bunch of lectures about terminal install. Here you can see that I have like install iTerm2, this one, and then Y terminal and everything. I've explained it. So then you can kind of like learn how to do iTerm2. I will skip that part, but I will assume that you guys have terminal. So let's go and start learning terminal. You will see a similar interface like this. And you can zoom in and zoom out. For the rest of this tutorial, I will assume you're using MacBook. If you're not using MacBook, please buy a MacBook. You will love it. You'll thank me later. But because of the shortcuts, I don't want to say all the time like Control or Command. I will just say Command plus, Command minus, but you will find a shortcut key. So you can go to ChatGPT and then find it out. So Command minus zooms in and zooms out your terminal, at least in iTerm2. I don't know the other ones. And then if you type clear, so if I keep hitting enter, new lines are created. I'll explain what are those new lines in just a minute. But if you type clear, just the word clear, and then hit enter on your keyboard, it clears the entire terminal. And then if you type pwd, process working directory, don't ask me, I learned it 20 years ago, I don't remember it, but just pwd, it will tell you where are you right now standing, what's your current directory. A directory means folder. So then I'm in there. So if I type L, it lists something, just L, the command L. For some of you, L might not work, depending on your configurations. You can type ls-la. This works almost in every single command. Don't ask me what is LA. Literally this part is called the parameter of that program. This is just the cursor. So this part is just the software itself that needs to run, or the command itself that needs to run, and that part is called the parameter. So don't ask me what does L8 does, but it does a lot of, it kind of like formats it and shows in a specific way, because you can do different ways of this thing. I just remember LSLA or something like that. And then you should be able to see the list of all the directories and the files and so on. In Mac, these little files having the dot in front of it, or these little directories having the dot in front of it, these are called hidden folders or hidden files. How do you distinguish what's a folder, what is a file? From the color of it and from a file extension to it. Some files may not have an extension. So this is a bash.s3, but its color tells you that this is a file, this is a folder. And the columns, ignore these columns. This is one column, this is another column, this is another column, and these are other columns. I will quickly explain what are those columns, but you don't need to memorize it or know what it does. So that column shows you the directory permissions. This is a specific way of representing permissions across a user, a group, based on what they can do. They can read, they can write, they can execute, and so on and so forth. This is the Linux permission thingies. This one I think is the size. No, this is the size, but I don't remember what is this. You can ask ChatGPT. This is your current user. This is the group where you're belonging. This is the file size. This is when the file was created or last updated and so on. All right, so we got to know ls clear pwd. Now, what we want to do is in this folder, I pressed Command F to get the focus right here on this terminal because I want to search something. I want to search VB101. Do I have that? I think so. Yes, there you see it is highlighted. So I want to go in that particular folder. How can I do that? I can do CD VB101, Vibe Coding 101. So this is a folder that I created before. I want to get into that. The command I use is called change directory. Change directory is the command that I can use to go there. I just remember one thing that I didn't clearly do documentation of this one. Sorry, this thing. I will keep doing some documentations here. So for those who are not interested in video content, they can see these screenshots and still learn something. So literally, this thing is called change directory. Okay, so once I hit enter here, what happens is it goes from here to here. You can see that it changed to the, or it kind of like navigated to the VB101 directory or folder. So that's that. Now we're going here. Now, what do we do here? If I press L, I will see all my project lists here. Samantha, N8, Nihilus, PDF Finder, and so on and so forth. I want to create a directory here. So I want to create a directory. For creating a directory, I do this. mkdir, and then a folder name. So let's give our project a name. I'll call it Samantha Notes. Samantha Notes. Okay. So what we have done here is this is called make directory, and that thing is the directory name, okay? All right, so we have those two things available. Now, we know how to get into that directory. It is cd Samantha node. Look, there is a small shortcut key that I want to show you. And here, if you type, like press tab on keyboard for autocomplete. Autocomplete. This will make you super fast. If you do this, it will make you super fast. So now I'm going to press tab one time, then press tab for more options. So when you have more than one option, because I have Samantha folders laying around a lot, there is like the top one is picked, the one that you use to go a lot. Now if I tap again, then this thing shows, and then keep pressing the tab to navigate to all of these ones. So when you do that, it changes here. So keep pressing tab to select options. See the change here. All right, so I have that. I hit enter Samantha notes here. Perfect. I press L. There is nothing in here. There is another command I would like to show you. If you type open dot, that means open the current directory. And it opens it in the file. It opens it in the current file, in the current folder structure that you have. You see, it's just an empty file. If I create a folder here, call it ABC, if I go here, press L again, you can see that that folder is created. Now I want to remove that folder. How do I do that? RMRF ABC will remove this folder. It will remove this folder without any permissions. Without any questions. And this folder will be deleted. And now I want to put an important question mark here, an important kind of exclamation mark. It is a very powerful command. Be careful not to use it on system folders. Why? Because if you do that, something will happen. You'll lose your computer. If you do that, it can damage your computer. So you need to be super careful not to use it on any folder, because it's a very, very powerful command. It can burn your computer to the ground. All right, so if I hit enter now, and then I press L, that folder is gone, okay? It didn't even ask me a question, you can see that. So therefore, it's very important that you use this thing responsibly. Now, what do we have next? I created a folder. Let's do a quick review. We learn how to list. We learn how to change a directory like CD, ABC. We learn how to create a directory. we learn how to get into a directory. Now, how to get out of a directory. This is how you get one level out of a directory. What does one level mean? I'll explain it in just a minute. Okay, so if I do that, look what happens. So look, I got out in this level. So I got one level out. Now imagine if I have ABC. Inside ABC, I have XYZ, and I went to XYZ, and that's it. So if I do this, you can see this, that I'm 2 levels deep. So level 1 and level 2. Okay. So 2 levels. So I have 2 levels deep. Now I want to get out of this 2 levels. I want to get to directly to this folder. So how do I do that? I just type cd dot dot slash dot dot. So what this dot dot slash dot dot do is it gives me a chance. Dot dot means one level. Another dot dot means another level. It can go on and on. That's the whole concept of this. So as many level as you want to get out, you can type dot dot and then a slash on it. All right. Now let's go to the next level. I'm going to get out 2 levels, and I'm going to remove ABC again. What else do we need? I believe that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else. Can you please list down the basic Linux terminal commands that a beginner should learn? We did that. Yeah, we did all of them. Touch, I don't think the touch is important. You can create files. Move, yeah, let's do copy and move. Cat, we'll do cat as well. Okay. So now let's say you have a file created. You want to create a file, you do touch abc.txt, you created a file, okay? Now you want to open it with VS Code, you type VS Code abc.txt, that file is now opened in VS Code. So that is how you create it, that's how you open it. Okay. Now, let's say I'm going to put something like ABC in this file, save it. Now, cat abc.txt will show the content of that file. All right, what else ChatGPT said I should do? Copy and move, okay. One thing that we did here I want to explain is RM, RF. R stands for recursive, and F stands for force. So recursively force. It will delete all the folders and everything. Therefore, it's a very dangerous one. The other ones are not. These are so system related. It's going to get you confused and so. Yeah, these are not beginner ones. I'll just stay focused on copying a file, a folder, and also moving them. So renaming them. So let's say you have a file ABC, right? You want to rename it. You press mv abc.txt to xyz.txt. So that is used for, that is move, but used also for renaming a file. Old name. New name. Okay, if I press enter L, you'll see that the change happened. Now, old name, new name. Okay, I will explain how to copy a file. So let's say if I want to copy XYZ to abc.txt, this is basically copying this file into a new file. So copies this file into a new file. This is used for copying a file or a folder. Okay. I think we're done. So we're done with the lecture terminal basics. I believe that you guys must have followed along when I was copy pasting to the Notion page. But I'm going to stop the screen recording now and give you guys 10 minutes to play around with this and submit your questions so that we can take the questions if there is any. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next lecture. All right, so now we are going to build okay. Apparently the thing is working. Nice. This is working. Continuity. There was a buffer issue, I think. Yesterday we like exploded the buffer and there was no good garbage collection in that continuity software, and therefore it was throwing us away. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys, let's say, where's my timer? Timer on the screen. Let's go for 5 minutes because you guys already tried it out a little bit, so 5 minutes should be enough. In those 5 minutes, I will check my YouTube channel. There's a question already coming. I'll also review the questions. Those 5 Alrighty, so let's go to the next level. So, guys, I'm not just a vibe coder. I go with the vibe flow. Like usually, people have like two screens, put something on the side, screen record only this one. But as you can see, I do everything live. I do everything as I go and I feel about. I only live in the moment. I'm an emotional person. I'm a normal person. I think I'm a normal person, but I don't know. But I was emotionally touched seeing all these numbers. Like literally, if you see that from 100%, right now we are sitting with literally with a 2% of that potential people, regardless of whether they watch later or not. But registering on Luma page doesn't mean that you're gonna watch it later. It means like you want to attend that meetup. If you don't want to attend that meetup, I mean that workshop, don't register on Luma page. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will get that content. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. And waste of hope for me. Like I was preparing for 800 people, at least 100 shows up and stays to the end. But never mind. I do this for the artifact. I do this for the people who are going to watch it later on. I saw someone in the YouTube comments saying like they watched it later on when they put their kids to bed. I also have kids. I also put my kids to bed, and I also uploaded 135 GB of 36 GBs of YouTube content so that it can be available for someone watching it today. Despite the fact there was already a live version of that available. But anyways, let's get to the next task. Terminal basics is done. Let me see if there are any questions coming in. How long will the Notion page be alive? I think I answered that. Have you tried 11 Labs, Node, and NA10? I haven't, to be honest. What's the reason for that? It might be an easier configuration. So it's not an API call back and forth. It's just like configuring 11 Labs there. Maybe we can quickly have a look. I have never tried 11 Labs NA10 Node before. It's a good time to kind of like refresh you guys as well on those who didn't try. And also for me, it's a nice opportunity to try 11 Labs NA10 Node. So I'm gonna just click trigger to say something via 11 Labs node. So this node needs to be installed. Let's install that. It has a get voice. So it has these actions: get voice, convert text to speech, transcribe audio, change voice. So it doesn't have like an agent feature. In that sense, it's not gonna work for us. Let's try it out. Let's see what get voice does. So let's get the 11 Labs credentials. I'm going to delete it anyway, so it's okay if you guys see my credentials. Oh. Where is the API key for 11 Labs? It should be somewhere here. There's almost no access, so let's try 11 Labs then. Okay, I have that. So this is voice custom API call. and it says HTTP request. So with this, we are back to square one. So it's using HTTP request. So let's see what the get voice does. I'll use my voice. This is my voice clone. What does it do? It must give me a blob or something. Oh, it gives me all the information of the I see. It's basically giving me all the metadata of this, and that's the file that it gave me. Inspire us to dream and reach for the stars. It was just the preview. It's just the metadata of that particular voice in there. So that API does that. What does it do? Okay, I can say something. We are having a live session today. And then it should give me an MP3, which I can play back. Yes, that's the right assumption, which is sitting here. We are having a live session today. Yeah, so that's again not something that we want. We want an agent. So the text to speech, speech to text can also be kind of like supply an audio from here. That's this data. We can. It doesn't have a file upload feature. I would have added one. I could like literally feed this back to this guy. It doesn't work like that. Okay, it's just the TTS and ASR. And then again, custom API call goes to HTTP request. So the last one, custom API. Yeah, so yes, to answer your question, yes, I tried. Yes, I tried 11 labs before. I love the vibe coding, the vibe flow. So yes, I tried the 11 labs a few seconds ago. It doesn't work for us. We wanted to have an AI agent, and 11 labs do not provide that as of yet, as of today, which is 27th of July. All right, so let's go. Let's go. Can we get the ability to copy the Notion notes? I don't know the feature of Notion that allows you to copy it, but I'll find out and enable that. Please ask me on LinkedIn a few days later if I forgot. Don't forget to record. It is running. Good. Thank you. The commands for Windows are quite different. Just a remark. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. Sorry. That's good that I kind of like focus entirely on Linux on Mac. Can you please take the microphone? What is it?
So for Windows users, they can install Git Bash
Yeah.
as their terminal, and
Okay.
all
Linux
commands will be same.
This is what I was talking about,
Yeah.
Bash. So if you install Git Bash for Windows, then all the same terminal things that I have is this one.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So if you install this for your Windows, then all the commands that that I explained should work exactly the same way as you have seen it before. Can you please repeat commands while coding? Beginner here, thanks. Repeat commands while coding. I wouldn't repeat exactly the commands. I did kind of like a review a couple of times, but the video is available. You can kind of like rewind it and then watch it again. We have a lot of content, so therefore I have to make sure we cover a lot. All right, so terminal basics is done. So we're gonna choose. I have an idea. How about we create a column, call it done. Instead of done, we call it day 1 and day 2. How can I edit? Perfect. So we have like day 1 and day 2, and then I will move these ones so that you guys can see which topic it belongs to which day. So you can also follow a little bit. I heard a sound on my system that I'm not used to. Not sure somebody hacked in my system or what. It was a poop sound, bloop bloop sound. And I also need to go and delete the API key that I have created because it has all the access in the world. I don't remember which one was that. So leopard seal was there before. That means this is the predatory Indian leopard. And delete. Okay, so what are we going to do next today is opening a GitHub account. So in order to open a GitHub account, you need to register on GitHub. Well, it's not just opening that. It's like kind of a few more steps to that. I will explain in just every step. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So let's go to github.com. I will also try to take you guys to the gate until I am not allowed to do, so that you guys can also see things. So you need to sign up, fill the form, click on create button. I'm not sure why it's picking me as Iran. So fill the form, then click on create. Perhaps you need to do a two-factor authentication or whatever. If you haven't done a GitHub registration yet, I don't remember when I registered my GitHub account, so I don't know exactly the new steps. But if any blockers, please write it in Vibe stage. I will try to answer it. Now, the key card, he doesn't have a key card. He's gonna get locked. He doesn't know the rules, so just explain it to him. Okay, so now the next step is to understand what is where in GitHub. Perhaps when you land, you will land somewhere here. And what you do here is you see so-called repositories. Perhaps I should register a new. No, let's do it like super beginner friendly. So I will sign up a new account so that you guys get everything fresh. Oh, it's sorry, email. It already exists, it says. Does wildcard work? Yep, wildcard works. It's 27th of July. Let's put 27 there. So once you create your account, so I'm gonna just, for the sake of things, so you do this, just following the trend that I have created, kind of like a little rhythm. Like literally, if a high school kid not knowing anything follow these tutorials should be able to follow along. And then visual, like click on that thing. And solve this puzzle. Use the arrow keys to do what? Use the arrows to move the train to the coordinates indicating in the left image. North 22. North 22. I don't know exactly the puzzle. Sorry. It's another one. R2. R2. So I need to go here. I will go here. Okay. Submit. L22. I will submit that to. Why is it not going to L22? Okay, this is L22. Okay, then we go next. This is saying 05. 05 it says. And they're training models with this. Therefore, they're showing multiple. They know that I'm a human, but they're just free. They're training AI models with this. I12. This is I12. Okay. Enough. I24. I24. Go on. Wonderful. So now in here, you can find the code in your email. Okay, I'm gonna go and find that code from my email. I didn't receive it. Maybe check your spam folder. Not also in my spam folder. Perhaps it's because of the wildcard email that I used, like the plus sign. So perhaps it's because my phone doesn't have Wi-Fi connection. It was actually the main reason. Otherwise, I got the code. Okay, so now I'm going to the code here. 733933835. I turn off the Wi-Fi because continuity was connecting to this phone. So therefore, that's done. You should see a screen like this. And then use the same email address that you used, 27@gmail.com. Use the password you used. And then sign in. You should see a screen like this. Nice. So this was a good idea that I created like a new thing so that I see the things that you see. And then you click on this one. Click here to create a new so-called repository. What is a repository? A repository is basically a folder repository is basically a folder. I think is a good connotation. A folder where you can save information using Git, the software. Okay, so now we're going forward to the next step. Now, in here, you need to put a repository name, and in here, it's your GitHub username. So your GitHub username. the name of the repository goes here. So I am going to name this repository. I'm going to call it something else. It's not Samantha Notes because I want Samantha Notes to be gone on my repository. These screenshots are just Samantha voice notes. Let's call it Samantha voice notes. And then this is just a description. You can give a memorable description. That could be something like a project where you can use AI to store memory notes and retrieve it using RAG. Okay, now I move this here. And then after this, I think it's going to be the same as my account. So it doesn't matter if I'm doing it with this account or the other account. So then this is an important information. And this is an important information you need to know about both these two options. So I'm going to write something here. I'm going to write something here. Public means that your code is available for others and they can see it. Private means that that your code is not available publicly. So this basically is the difference of those two. It's important information that you need to know. Okay. So what do we have next? After all of that, you need to click on here to create the repository. The short term of this is also repo. Repo is the short for this, also known as repo. Okay, now I think I'm going too slow and too much to the deep level because there are a lot of tutorials about this on the internet. They can use it there. All right, I will explain a few things here and then I'll go to my account and then we'll speed up. So the first thing we need to do here is now configure our GitHub with a so-called SSH key, this one. This is secure socket, whatever, forgot the acronym. Can somebody please find the acronym? SSH, what does it stand for? Secure socket. Just Google it. SSH. Shell?
Secure shell.
Oh, shell. You said cell. I heard cell. Yes, secure shell. So SH is like secure shell. Okay, secure. It's like shell. It's just 2 times cell. It is end-to-end encrypted. And we will be doing this one. And HTTPS is kind of like only over the HTTP protocol. We will learn how to create a new SSH key, configure it on GitHub, and do git commands using an SSH key, which is a little bit complicated if you're doing it for the first time. Therefore, I want to cover it in this tutorial. So this is your GitHub URL or your Git URL with which you can identify things. This part entirely, we'll do it. We will do it in the next section of the course. Okay. Alrighty, let's go to so now from here I will switch to my account, my actual account, so that I can, or I think it's better to stay here because it doesn't have any SSH key. Mine has so many SSH keys. No, we'll do it in this one. So what is an SSH key? You need to understand that. In order to understand that, you need to understand a theory called asynchronous encryption system. So async encryption. So encryption goes in two ways. Encryption goes in synchronous and asynchronous way. So in asynchronous, there is a private key and there is a public key. What does it mean? I'll try to explain it in super simple terms so that you don't get confused. It can really become confusing really quickly. If I try to do something which I did yesterday with this concept, with RAG, which I use these fictitious numbers, and then I later on showed you guys this embedding thing, I'll try to do something like that with an asynchronous encryption system so you know what it means. So imagine if you have two people trying to send something to each other. So there is this guy or this boy. Not sure why it didn't work. So let's say Adam wants to send something to Alice. There we go. So Adam and Alice want to communicate with each other. And when they want to communicate, they want to send data in a secure manner. So what happens is that Adam puts a text, says hi, for example, and this text goes over the wire to Alice. If this text goes over the wire to Alice as it is, there's a bad guy. I will just call it bad guy. I don't know. Somebody's name might become. So that bad guy might be a cool bad guy or not. He is sitting in the middle and he is sniffing this traffic. All of this traffic, like Adam and Alice are having this communication over the line. They said, they said, how are you? And all of this data going back and forth through this line, bad guy can get it. Now, in order for bad guy to not get it, we use encryption systems. So Adam sends I, but on the wire, it's some gibberish sent here. And that gibberish arrives to Alice and converts back before showing it to Alice as hi. And how this thing works, you can do it in two ways. One, you can do it in a synchronous way, not asynchronous, synchronous way. That means a central location somewhere, like a central server or something that doesn't have anything to do with bad guys. So we're going to let the bad guy go away. So this central place will take care of all these communication and kind of like making sure that Adam and Alice are talking, and these things go and back and forth to Adam and Alice, and all of that secure gibberish thingy replacement of that gibberish happens centrally. But that's not scalable. That's not a good way to do it. What is a good way to do, a scalable way to do, is asynchronous communication. That means Adam keeps a private key and takes a public key So this private key is a key that is kind of like really important key, and he keeps it with himself. And in another, the public key is a nice shiny key that can be shared publicly. Why is it shared publicly? The moment Adam and Alice shook hands, that's the time. Let's get rid of the bad guy for a minute. So the moment Adam and Alice kind of like connected or shook hand or did the settings, in that moment of that setting, they share, Adam shares a public key to Alice. And then Alice has a public key. Adam never shares his public key with anyone else. It keeps it. It's very important. It's private. It even doesn't leave the computer. Now, Alice wants to send, this was just one time, one connection. The first time the connection happened, they did that. The connection is done. The connection is connected. Now, these two are connected. How? That means that the public key of Adam is now with Alice. For the sake of simplicity, we're going to just think that there's one-way communication. Alice can send messages to Adam so that I can keep it simple. Now, Alice wants to say hi. He does something called signing public key. So he takes a public key, he signs it. So that thing is called sign. It signs the message called I using this public key. It goes through this. This I turns into a gibberish. And that gibberish goes over the wire. Now, if this bad guy comes in, and this time attacks from the bottom of the line, because we don't have space on the other side, now the bad guy will get gibberish. And this gibberish, without this private key, cannot be turned into I. So the bad guy can turn it, well, he can. He needs, I don't know, billions of years to do a so-called brute forcing. Let me remind myself how long is that with the current compute system and why quantum computer can change the face of the earth because of the security part of that. Like my mind is like literally going on fire thinking about that, but I'll talk about quantum computers in just a minute. For the current asynchronous AES, advanced encryption system, and all the latest encryption systems that SSH is using and all the banks are using, what is the number of years using the best supercomputer in the world to brute force a public key signed message without having the private key? So I think it's in millions of years of compute that we need in order to brute force to get that thing, that I turn into, like that gibberish turn into some I. So it's billions of years, actually. It's billions of years required in order to get the current, if the private key of this is not there, this bad guy cannot turn this I, like cannot see this I. Now the I stays with Alice on Alice's computer. It goes around. Bad guy is out of the picture, so the bad guy can't be a bad guy. He needs to go and find a job. Now the gibberish arrives to Adam's computer. Adam has this private key, swipes like literally waves the wand, the magic wand, and this gibberish turns into hi. That's how asynchronous communication works. It's extremely important piece of computer science knowledge that I give you guys without give you the pain of computer science. But that's what happens under the hood. And we are going to use that concept now to create our SSH configurations. So I'm going to put this a little bit in a way that I can intrigue the people who are going to only see the the notes from Notion to go and watch this part of the video. So this is asynchronous encryption system in a nutshell. Alrighty, so what's next? We need to go in and create our SSH key and configure our GitHub account with that SSH key with our terminal that we have put in place. Now let's go do that. It's not a big deal. We have ChatGPT and we have Mr. Emil making things simple. I love myself. I think everyone should love themselves. Otherwise, if you don't like yourself, you're going to kill yourself eventually. And if you're the best version of yourself, then you can be the best version of yourself to others. So you need to love yourself. All right, so now let's go to do something. We need to learn a new command in the terminal. It's a one-off command, therefore I didn't get it into the Git basics. Terminal basics. All right, I didn't remember it there. I won't overcomplicate the Git basics lecture. I will just do it here. So I will ask. Oops, sorry. Can you please show me how to create an SSH key in a MacBook? It's like SSH-keygen and so on. It's a command I need to run in my computer in order to generate a key. So it's like this. I'm going to copy this command, come to my terminal where I was earlier. I was on Samantha Notes here. If I show you guys here, I'll delete these files. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention, which might make sense here, is that you can put multiple files. Like these are 2 files. I want to delete both of them. Separate with a space to give multiple files or delete multiple files. Okay. This thing belongs to the GitHub basics on the terminal basics. Terminal basics. I can't find RMRF. It doesn't matter. It can stay there. Okay, I'm gonna delete those ones. I don't need them. Okay, so what I will do now is the following. I'll go and copy the command that ChatGPT gave me for generating SSH keys, but this will create the file right in this folder. Okay, I'll just generate it. Oh no, it's intelligent. It picked the right folder. I just want to make sure that you guys don't follow the wrong path. So I'm gonna paste it before changing anything. I'm gonna change my email address to 27@gmail.com. Now, what it does is this is a command that generates the, I believe that is the part for encryption type. That switch is called encryption type. That's the encryption standard or something. Specifies the key type, modern, fast, and secure RSA. Yeah, the RSA type. It's the RSA type. So that part is the RSA type. And this is the command itself. That's the part that does this one. And that's your email you used in Gmail. I mean GitHub account. And that should be it. So if you do this, it will give you a command. It will generate this SSH key and it will put it inside this folder. So inside this folder. It will actually create two files. It will create. I'll show what it does. So it creates that folder. All right, so we're gonna enter the file in which to save the key. The default file is okay. I will just keep entering, and then enter passphrase. Leave this empty, and then press enter. Okay, now you do that again, press enter again. Now, what is next is that it creates this folder. It created this file. Where's the private key? Here. So pay attention to this. This one has this PUB. That means public. .pub means public file or public key. This is your private key. Created two files, a private and a public key. All right. Now what we have here, we have a file sitting in that folder, which we need in order to configure it on our GitHub, so that all our Git commands that we are going to learn in the next lecture are going to work through that secure manner. All right. So we're going to go to that folder by copying literally this thing. Or type it. I mean, you can also type it, but you can do this like this. CD. You can also type this. Well, I'm not going to show you shortcut keys. It's okay. That will make your life harder. Something like that. Change directory to this folder. Okay, now what I want to do is in here, I want to press L and I will see all the files, but I also see I have a lot of files. So I want to get this one, right? I have a lot of files, but I want to get that one. I will write cat, paste that file. You will not have a lot of files because you don't have it. So use cat, and this is important, very, very, very important. Typed. If not, that is your private key, which should not leave your computer. Okay, so you do that. You press enter. There are questions coming, I know, but I'm right now in that mood of like going all the way through, and then I'll take all the questions. So then you copy this entire thing. Make sure that you don't take any other things copied. So copy this entire text. Make sure that you don't copy empty spaces. Okay, now this is the time we are going to build the, sorry, put this thing on the GitHub somewhere. I think it's on the settings. Let me quickly find it, and then I come back and explain it in detail. SSH key somewhere. Yep, there. So click there, and then click there. So first click here, then click here, and then click here. So that's like click, click, and click. Obviously, this is on GitHub, so you need to follow that instruction like that. And then paste this here, give it a name. Okay. So we are pretty much set to the level that when I click on this add button, I forgot to put the click button, but you get the point. Like you have to click that. And now you basically did the connection part. This is basically the connected example between Adam and Alice. I'll have another screenshot coming, which will make more sense in a moment. Like this one. All right, so this is done now. That means my computer is now connected with GitHub in a way that I can send secure messages back and forth between GitHub and my computer. So that means if I go to my repository that I have just created, Samantha Voice Notes, and I select this, copy this URL, okay. After that, what I can do is go to my terminal. I'm in my terminal in this SSH folder. Now I need to go to the upper folder. How can I do that? I need to type cd without typing anything, just hit enter.
Amir is coming in 10 minutes.
Okay. Now what we do now here is that we go on the root folder, and then I do again the same thing, cd vb101, but I can also do cd in multiple levels. The same way as I did cd dot dot slash dot dot, I can go in multiple levels like this, cd dot dot, and then I created this Samantha something notes. Samantha notes. So I can do cd and then multiple levels like adding slashes. Okay, so we have this thing in here, that thing there. Now I'm inside this folder, and here I'll write git clone. We're getting into the git basics, which I didn't want to do inside this lecture, but it's okay. I will do this, and then I'll get back to the git basics, and we'll do a lot of git basics in that sense. So this is the last piece of this. And we have not kept an eye on the clock. So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11. So we are 2 hours and 10 minutes. We have to stop the streaming in 4 hours because otherwise it will create a small problem. It's a Riverside problem. Riverside is a company that built the software that we use for streaming. So what did I want to do? I want to git clone this thing. So git clone and then this thing. What it does is this is the git command that we'll get into a lot more in detail, and that is your GitHub URL. Okay, so this is the git command, and this is the clone feature or parameter or switch or clone subcommand. And this is the GitHub repository URL. Okay, so now what you're doing is you're basically cloning this GitHub repository on your system. When you clone a GitHub repository on your system, that means it's copied, it's pasted, like literally downloaded. So it copied it, but it says it's empty. Let's quickly switch to, let me see if the questions are GitHub related, then I will switch to Git basics, because we are getting into the territory of GitHub. Did I do something wrong? Okay. Let me see the questions first, and then I'll switch to the GitHub basics, because this, particularly that message that we just saw here, is something that I want to explain about GitHub basics. Where are my questions? Here. Install WSL for Windows allows Ubuntu Linux. That is what I was looking for. Yes, WSL is the, I think it's a WebAssembly or something. Is that does it mean no? Subsystem Linux. Windows Subsystem Linux. So WSL is this layer that sits in front of like your terminal and your Windows, because the architectures are different, and they're, oh, you come from the network background, therefore you know all of these things. This is your day-to-day things, right? You're a Linux expert then. Okay, nice. So yeah, install that. Good contribution. Thank you for that message. Thank you, Emil, for sharing all these amazing content for free. Thank you so much. Thank you for attending it. Otherwise, you were one of the 2% of people who clicked. And I don't know how many more 1,000 people saw it and they didn't click and they didn't register. But I'm offended by that 800 people who clicked register, give their email address, give their time to fill that form, and still didn't show up. Thank you. Okay, that we just did. I'm from India. Do you need any invite for visa to come to attend a session in person? I don't know. I don't send invites for people to get a visa. Does embedding and chunking also happen when response is generated by AI agent and it is returned back to user? Does embedding, and it's unrelated to today's topic, it's a topic of yesterday, but I'm respectful of your time being that you took to type it. I'll respect that and answer it quickly. Yes, when you ask a question, your question is also turned into embedding and kind of like vector. And then the similarity search happens, like similar to that particular knowledge base, that vector database is retrieved, and then it's basically chunks of text. And then an LLM sanitizes it and cleans it up and then shows it to the user. Stuck, you were trying to save the SSH key to a folder path instead of a file name. So SSH keygen is confused. I'm not sure if I understand your blocker. Perhaps you wrote this message before trying it out. Try it out. If you still were stuck, please write me a LinkedIn message. I'll try to help you there. Solve the directory problem. Okay. Oh, it's the same person. Please hold your questions for like 5 minutes before you solve it, because then you create noise for the recording. Second, the .pub file, I could only generate ID RSA. I would suggest, if you're stuck like that, then delete the file, restart the whole system. I think you'll find, and when you restart it, maybe do it in the lunch break when we're gone. Do it like step by step, exactly see what happens next in my screen, and then you can catch up. And I will anyways give a breakout room now. So during the breakout room, you can also do that. Or actually, I'm thinking about another crazy idea. I will leave a Google Meet link here during the breakout room time so that everyone tries this out. And then you can join that Google Meet, say hi to my community, and then you share your screen, or anyone else having any other problem related to the subject, and then I can go and do that, help you there. So the next one is feedback. It's appreciated. It's when you stop and explain why you do that and the reason it's appreciated when you stop and explain why you do that and the reason behind. I think being live is the best advantage for it. Otherwise, see the video recording. Exactly. That's what the point I was making, that if you don't come live, you don't benefit from these questions and answers. All right, cool. So we're gonna switch now to the next lecture, which is Git Basics. I'll give you guys some time to follow this one before going to Git Basics. Let's say 10 minutes. And these 10 minutes, what I will do is I will share a GitHub link. You guys can, anyone join and ask me questions. From how many people are we now live? We are 15 people live. So I'm going to leave a GitHub, a Google Meet in here, and then you guys have 9 minutes to ask a question. Alrighty, create. There we go. Anyone joins there? Hi.
Hi.
My name is Emil. Good to see you. All right. Okay. So, anyone, if has a question, they can join here. I will be waiting. Other than that, we have 9 minutes to go. Meanwhile, somebody joins. I would like to give you the microphone and talk. What's your name? You can sit here because of the light. What's your name? Where you come from? What do you do? What's your background? How do you like it so far? And so on and so forth. Here is your microphone, and that's you. Please look at this camera.
Yeah, here is Amir. I just reached here. I came from Hamburg today, and my nationality is Iranian.
Oh, nice. باش من فارسی صحبت کنید. من فارسی زبان هستم.
And it was too amazing that I joined yesterday, and they were quick, ran up of different things, and I think it's quite very nice that I love to join it in person too.
Oh, lovely. That's so amazing. Yeah. So you came from Hamburg, like literally you came from Hamburg for this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you. You took the ICE?
Yeah.
Okay. It was 2.5 hours? No, 4 hours. No.
Two and
a half hours. Yeah.
And
what do you do? What's your background?
I'm product manager, and right now I use N8N and this kind of automation tools.
Okay. So as a product manager, you use N8N for automating any Figma related, any product design?
Product internal processes, and also combination of some tools, some Notions, Jira, or something like that.
I see.
Yeah.
For how long have you been a product manager?
About 7-8 years. Yeah.
7-8 years. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
But
I think now the product managers have a superpower because of vibe coding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with vibe coding, you can become this person who not only thinks and knows ins and outs of products, but can also build one. And that's a very strong superpower that you can imagine having.
Actually, I was those times, I mean, years before, it was too complicated to communicate this side. I mean, technical side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because have the expectation and forecasting the
Yeah.
timing and something like that. But nowadays it's in our hands. Yeah,
Yes.
we can feel actually what we're going, and we
Yes.
can show actually in the other
Yes.
side. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Very nice to meet you,
Nice to
Amir.
meet you
Thank you
too.
so much for coming.
You're welcome.
We'll have lunch. We'll have some more social talks
Sure,
later on.
sure. Thank you.
But thank you for coming. You see,
you.
you come in person, there are good things happening. So let's go to the online folks. Online is broken. Key? You need the key? Okay.
Did someone join from the Google?
Yes, somebody joined. I just saw somebody joined. There we go.
I heard it.
So, hey, Derson, how are you? Yes, I can hear you. How are you? Welcome to the live stream of agents, human agents. I should change my name, my channel name from Agent Geeks to Human Agents. Yeah, please go ahead, ask your question, or maybe since you joined and took the time to give us your face and your personal connection, take like 30 seconds, 1 minute, explain what you do, and then the rest of the time we can use that for seeing what's your blocker. You have any questions, anything, then we can solve that. Yeah, cool. Sorry, guys, who are listening live or watching this later on from live. They won't be able to listen you, Derson, because I just checked the voice. The voice cancellation is doing it. Let me turn this voice cancellation off. Can you say something now? So you want to become a native AI native developer? Yeah. Unfortunately, even turning off noise cancellation doesn't work as well. It's not down. Now it's background. This Riverside is not the best experience I have ever thought about. No, it's okay. It's running. All right. So sorry for online folks. You can't hear us. At least hear us in one way. I'll reiterate what Derson is saying. So when he is talking, you won't be able to hear that. But in the if there are recordings of this, maybe I can turn on the recording. Then the recording will capture your voice. So the recording that will come tomorrow, let's say the day after tomorrow or whenever, that will have your voice. Okay. So we have one of the online live attendees join, Derson Ramos. He's based in the Netherlands. and you have a question, please go ahead. Okay, so you're asking what's next in the course for the rest of the day. The Git basics we'll do. We'll explain what are the basic commands that we need to add a new file, remove, and so on. It's very, very important. And then after that, we will install this piece of software that I made called Vibe Flow, which kind of puts 3 AI agents together: Cursor, Claude Code, and Taskmaster. All these 3 together works through an MCP interface to produce code that is way more high quality than just using Cursor alone. And then we will build. These 3 are the build sessions, which is kind of like an interface, a UI. Actually, it's a good point to kind of like, it's a course content anyway. So we're back, guys. We're back. So it's a course content. So we're gonna build a UI, something like this. So the user interface is gonna look something similar to this that I'm going to show you here. We're gonna go mobile first. Why? Because the actual use case of this software that we're building as a part of the 2 days crash course or workshop is that we want to use this software, especially I'm going to use it myself when I am in a meetup. So there will be like 2 different use cases of this, like 2 different user interfaces of this. One will be for the same way as we did the APIs. One will be for ingestion, and one would be for querying. So the ingestion and querying both will have its own different user experiences. How it would look like is as following. We took a small detour. We're kind of like explaining something in this ticket, but we are supposed to do this one. But it's okay, because it's okay to kind of like get out of that terminal, that dark screen, to a whiteboard and a little bit of creativity, and then we go back there. So it's okay. It's just a flow that goes there. Let's go one step at a time, please. Let me finish this, and then I'll go and create the file and so on. So right now we're trying to build the UI, how this should look like, the ingestion system, how this should look like. In my opinion, this is how it should look like. I should just have the LinkedIn profile URL, just one input box that I can copy paste that from my mobile phone when I connect with them. And then there should be one big text box. This big text box should contain like a message or something. Obviously, there will be like login and sign up and so on, which we'll do anyways. I don't want to build the UI for that, so it's going to be kind of like notes. And what will be important and different will be this button here. This button will be a microphone button. So there will be microphone icon. Let's use this one for now, just dummy, but AI will generate a better one for us. When I press this microphone button, then it's kind of like a recording mode. It will record, it will transcribe something and then put some text in here, some gibberish text in here. So that will be the basic UI for the ingestion. And the UI for query will be very, very simple and very, very similar to only this part. And the response of that will be something like this. When I hit the search button, well, I can also do that, and then there will be a button that I say search. When I either talk or write notes, I get a result, or let's say query result screen, which will have some text, the answer, and text, obviously some text here. And then the response itself. So just to make sure that I don't confuse the LLM later on, it's just a label. We're going to use this for the LLM for creating our so-called product requirement document. We'll update this and make it better looking when we get there. And this will be the LinkedIn profile. This is the most important part for me, because if I don't go to their LinkedIn, I don't have a way to go back to their LinkedIn profile. Then I won't be able to find who that person was. And it is like literally a link I can tap, and then on my phone I can open their LinkedIn profile. So this is the user interface. We're going to enrich this even further. Wait a minute. Yeah, we'll come back to this and enrich it. Anyways, this was a small detour. All right, so let's go to the Git basics. Excuse me, can you use the microphone, please?
I should hold it, yeah?
Yes.
I think it's better that you describe about the Git. That is it. How's the repository is for the instruction or data, and how's the communication? Is it cloned on the system? So the structures are in the Git, and how's the communication with Git?
Wait. Okay. Thank you so much for your input. Okay, so we just finished a detailed opening a GitHub account, which kind of like went through all the steps, as you can see here. We even explained the asynchronous encryption system here, and we created a Git repository, and also we cloned the Git repository, which was right here. And the cloned repository is now sitting in this folder, but it is an empty repository. The Git repo is cloned here. It is an empty repo. Repo is just a synonym for repository. All right, so now we're getting a step closer to the Git basics. After the Git basics, literally the setup, and then the rest of the app. We need to keep an eye on the number of hours that we're running. We need to have a hard stop at exactly 4 hours or earlier. So we have 1.5 hours left. So can someone put a timer for 90 minutes? 90 minutes, 90. Yeah. Okay, so now we are going to Git basics. We'll know everything from super zero to everything else, okay? There's the quality of this is okay, or if you want, we can switch back to the live mode so that I can have one less distraction. I will turn off this call, okay? Thank you. See you. So here, you can see that I have a folder in here, and we know how to go in that folder. It's basically CD Samantha. I can go there. Now, in here, when I say write L for listing, this is a new folder that you'll see. that is created. This is called a hidden folder. Why hidden folder? Because it has dot. It's how hidden folders are made. And what is it for? It is basically storing all the Git information. So which branch, where, who's the user, and so on and so forth. So that's piece number one to know about Git. Then the next step is, now let's create a file. Let's create, like, our plan here is, first we're gonna create a file, then we're gonna save it locally, then we're gonna upload it on GitHub. Okay, those are the basic 3-step plan we have here. And then we will go in and try hard, like a little bit more complex steps. All right, so the first one is, you know how to create a file, right? I create a file called abc.txt. I know how to open it, abc.txt. I will put abc in this file, save it, get out there. And if I cat abc.txt, you can see this file. I don't need to re-explain it. We just went through this lecture this morning. Now, what I want to do now is, if I see, I have now this file in the Git folder, okay? And the newly created file. So now I have these two pieces of information. Now, what do I do next is, if I type git status, this is a command that tells you what has changed since the last commit. Okay, if I enter, I will explain everything in great detail. So it says that these are untracked files, and in here it shows all the files that are tracked. This command is used to see what has been changed since the last commit. Don't panic, I will explain what is commit. And these are all the files that are not yet tracked. And don't panic, I will explain what is file tracking. And this is the list of files that has been changed or added. So okay, so now if I want to save this, this is how, let me explain commit, or how Git works, okay? How Git works. So the way Git works is literally on file system. So it literally works on file system. So if I have a file sitting somewhere, let's say I have a GitHub repository. Let me do it this way. On github.com, I have a repository called Samantha Voice Notes. This is the website github.com. This is on Microsoft servers. So Microsoft bought GitHub. So this is the Microsoft servers. And this is my computer. So /users/emilsires/vb101/ I have it here somewhere in the terminal. I already have it here. This is my computer, literally sitting on my computer. So this thing is on my computer. I'll just take the whole path so that you know this is my computer, because my name is not displayed here. So this is my computer, that's a server. Okay, so the server computer is keeping a clone of my files, is keeping a copy of my files. And I always, when I say git clone, I'm basically copying everything in here. So when I executed this git clone, this URL, it's not that URL, it's something like this. When I used this command, what happened was these files were sitting here. This command downloaded these files literally to my desk. It downloaded it. The entire files that were sitting there in my desk. So the moment I executed it in my terminal, right? So in my terminal, I executed something. In that execution, that command that I executed in my terminal, I went to my terminal, I executed this command. This command went on the internet, found the file. How did it find it? Because we did the SSH connection, right? So we already did the SSH connection. That SSH connection was working perfectly fine. That magical moment that we had when we did the SSH connection, I explained this thing. So this whole thing is underneath an SSH connection. So it went through that SSH tunnel, came to this computer, that's also a computer, but sitting on a cloud, grabbed all those files, brought it down to me on my computer. So it created those files here. Which file was it? It was, for now, just .git. But it gets interesting now, because we have an abc.txt in this file. So now here I have abc.txt, which was downloaded in step number 1 from the server with a git clone thing in here. So this was my step number 1. So in the first step, I executed a command like this. It literally downloaded an entire file for me on my computer. That's step number 1. What happens next is, on my terminal, I executed a few more commands. I created a file. I did git status. Now I see some files here. Now, it's not only this git file, but there is also abc.txt file. But as I said, it didn't move it, it copied it. So that means there is one git folder there, one git folder here. And this one has this abc file, abc.txt file, but the server do not have it yet. And even this abc.txt file here is in red color. Why? Because it's not committed yet. What is a git commit? We're getting there. A git commit is basically the core, the heart of Git. If you understand git commit, then you understand the whole concept of Git. We'll get to Git branches in just a minute, but if you understand what's git commit, then you understand everything else. So the way Git works is like this. It writes one file here. Imagine if this is your entire disk, okay? It writes one file. Imagine this is one line of instruction that you did, and then it keeps writing files. So it keeps writing files on your disk, and every single time you for example, if that is one file or one piece of file that you've done, you can literally take it out of that system, and this particular file can be called a commit, and this can have like abc.txt, it can have like package.json, it can have like xyz.txt, it can have like resume.pdf, and so on and so forth. But then you can, it's kind of like multiple files combined together with some metadata information in it. This thing contains some info. We'll get to that some info in just a minute. So this particular thing is how commits work in Git. So how Git commits are stacked is like literally they get stacked on the top of one another. That means this particular item can be shifted to the top, to the bottom, to any level of that Git file. That means it's going to change your file structure, the way you're looking at it. So now let's go to this particular example of abc.txt, which is not yet saved. What I need to do for this to save it is in step number 2, I'm going to do the following thing. There are like 2-3 steps that you need to do. Git add dot, and then git commit -m. You give it a memorable message. I should have not removed that graphic there. So this graphic can stay here. I have git add dot and then git commit -m, and then you give it a memorable message, added abc.txt file. Now this little message, this little text that we do goes to the top of like literally every single one of them. Every single one of these things will have a little memory, like a note, kind of like added abc.txt file. And that is basically this memory that you're kind of like storing. So this goes right away here. They're the same thing. Now, right now it's only having one file, but it can have like multiple files. So here you can see so now, when we do this, let's do that and then come back here. So I typed git status. I know that git status is showing me one file in red. I can press the command git add dot, enter, nothing happens. This basically added, it just added the git, the abc.txt into a so-called stage phase. That means like literally now I have that one file at least prepared for saving it or for moving it from here back to here, which is the upload part. So it turned that from red to black so that it can be sent back, obviously via that SSH connection. So it's still sitting in my computer. And it's still, if I do this, git status, you'll see now it turned green So it means it is staged or it's prepared for uploading to github.com. All right. Now, I need to do one more step in order to save it on this disk. So this, there are 3 steps to this. Maybe I can, phases of Git saving. One is in red state. One is in green state. And the other one is in, let's give it a color black state, okay? So the red means something, the green means something, and the black means something. The red means unstaged. It's not saved. You can do so-called git stash. It will be removed. We'll see git stash in a minute. This means it's staged. And this means it is committed. We'll see commit in just a minute. So now it is green. That's all right. I just got my file staged, but it's not saved in the disk as a Git file. There is another command in Git called git log, which basically shows you, this command shows you the history of Git commits saved on your local computer, okay? Now I'll show you what is that. Okay, now if I do this, it says there are no commits. Since this is a new repository and we don't have any commits, you see this message. All right, now I can do this, git commit-m added abc.txt file. What this command does, we already explained it, is it adds a commit to the Git S3, which means it saves the changes, one or multiple files, on the on my local computer. Not yet GitHub, it's still on my local computer, and creates a so-called commit hash. Okay, now if I press enter, look what happened. It created the file and it created this so-called hash. This is a short hash. It created this code for these changes, for the change or changes, as it can be multiple files. And it added abc.txt inside the in the git commit history. Okay. Now, if I go do this, before that, I do git status. Yeah. Excuse me. If I press get status, please use, if you have a question, please use Vibe Stage. Get status, then look what happened. This time get status is showing me a different result. Previously it said this one, and now it says the working tree is clean. Before get status showed I had one file. Now executing it again. Shows that the working tree is clean. We will get to what's working tree in just a minute. You need to understand what are branches in tree. The analogy of tree is very interesting. All right. So now if I press get log, it's going to show something this time. So if I execute the get log command, you will see the get S3. There we go. Now this is the get S3. So what does get S3 has? It has a lot of information that you need to know. So it has this git commit. Let me make it tidier so we can have space for everyone. So git commit, the author, the date. So git commit, the so the commit is this message that, oh sorry, this ID that is used for showing this information. I'll document everything here. So this is the commit ID that uniquely identifies the change, which is one or multiple files. And this is the how do you call it? What analogy can I give? Like the latest changes. Latest changes. Or the branch showing the latest changes. What's a branch? You'll get to know it in just a minute. And then we have, this is the name of the branch, soon to be discussed. But what it means right now, for your information, is like, it means one copy of the entire files in your Git, in your folder. That's it. And this is simple. This is all the, this is the name and email of your Git configuration on your system. And then this one is the git commit message that we used as git commit -m what was it? Added abc.txt file. So that's it. This is how git s3 can be explained. We're getting out of the boring parts in just a minute. Sorry for this, but this is the type of education that I want to promote so that people can get there. You can get locked here if you don't know how to get out of here. And here you need to type Q on keyboard to get out of here. Okay. So we are pretty much set in this level. We're getting very close to the end of git commands and git s3. Okay, I will come to the questions, I promise. I will come to the questions. Please push all your questions in Vibe stage. I have one more step to do and then a few more steps to do, and then I'm done with the entire lecture of Git basics. Probably this is the most boring, the most confusing, the most complicated lecture in the entire day. The rest of them will be just like literally watching an AI agent writing code. So let's go to the next step. The next step is, I'm not taking questions intentionally, just so that this continuity of like Git basics are recorded in one go, in one chunk for later on, for later playback. Although I respect every single one of you guys. Like, look, nobody churned. That's a very good sign. Like nobody left the call, but because you guys are the top 2%, you're the actual soldiers. You're the pioneers of a technology that's going to change the face of the earth. And yet a lot of people are not thinking that they're missing something very important. Anyways, so I have created something here. Now, if I do git status, I don't see any change. If I press L, I see the ABC. But if I go to my repository and I press Command R to refresh the page, I still don't see the file here. Why? Because I didn't execute this upload feature. This upload feature is, thank you so much, guys. This upload feature is the command that I need to do in order to do this, git push. The moment I do git push, it basically uploads this entire file system to the system, which is just this differential. It's not the entire existing files. It's just that one small piece that is more kind of like extra added. It goes up to the cloud. So let's do that. I will push git push. Let me document it here. Okay. Now, where was my Notion page? Now I want to do the following things. So I want to execute this, git push, enter. Oops, it didn't pick my SSH key properly. Let me do a config. This won't happen for you guys. It happened for me because I have multiple SSH keys. This is an advanced topic, so therefore I'm gonna skip over it and do it very, very fast so that we don't pollute our tutorial so much. But you can watch me and I will not turn off the actual tutorial so that you can see how I do it. I'm not gonna spend too much time to pressure my brain on how to do a git config. This is how it's done. Can you please show me a git config so that I can put a git repository and an SSH key together in the config file? I have multiple SSH keys and multiple GitHub accounts. I have this one GitHub account that has a different SSH key. I want to do the configuration so that my git push do not ask me for my username and password, and always use the SSH configuration. So it's a config file. I need to go and put something in there. So that is okay. That is done. This config file. So I know where it is. I'm going to use git here. I already have a lot of configs, and I'm going to add one more config that goes like this. It's not a part of the lecture, so you need to ignore that. So I'll call it AML test. It's GitHub, and then this is the file name that we have created last time inside the SSH folder. I can find it. I forgot the file name. Was it this one? I think so. Yeah, it was created today at 11 o'clock, so this must be the one. So I'm going to copy that file and paste it, but pay attention to this. This time it's without the dot. It's the private key that it says that you should use for this one. So, okay, this should have resolved my problem, which I saw after this git push thingy. And still. Oh, holy moly. I cloned it incorrectly. Again, another advanced feature. I don't want to dwell you guys. I didn't select here. I'm in dark mode. I had HTTPS selected when I gave the tutorial earlier. I should have had SSH selected, but my screenshots showed that when you do the git clone, it's not here, it's in the GitHub account. So when I said like when you do the git clone, here. So if you remember, I said like select SSH, but I was personally on HTTPS. That was wrong color for identifying which one is selected. Light colors for the disabled one. Bad UX GitHub. Now I'm gonna fix that and then continue our conversation. So I'm gonna take this, copy this. Is it the right one? Yep. This looks clean. Now if I do git push, it will use, this is the error that is supposed to not come. When I do this, I'll take a screenshot and put it here so that it gives me the right configuration. Please fix the config. So that piece of config that goes in my folder, still not part of the lecture. It's an advanced, very advanced thing. So this config needs to have this piece of code here, right here. Where was my VS Code? Here. There we go. It was one small thing. Git push still gives me permission problem. Let me I did change the git remote URL. You successfully authenticated. So this is good that it happened, and you can see that even complex things can be done with ChatGPT. It will resolve it. So git remote set URL. Maybe my set URL was not correct, so I'm just gonna re-execute that. Same thing. Yeah, let's do the final test. I'm anyways not intending to continue on this repository because the actual project, well, that's running from the problem. I believe we didn't give, I know what's the problem. This doesn't have the chmod 600. So you can see here, it doesn't have the rights properly set. It just have like root folder. I believe that should have worked. Mm-hmm. There we go. No. Anyways, we don't want to prolong the recording because this is a pain to upload a very long recording. So what I want to do now is do a breakout room for you guys to try the GitHub commands that we have done so far. I will fix this problem and come back, or I will move it to my actual GitHub account. I'll stop the recording and let's do a breakout room of, let's say, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is enough. How many minutes do we have from the timer that we said earlier? 90 minutes? 51 minutes. Yeah, let's do the 10 minutes breakout, and then in those 40 minutes, we'll be able to finish the Git basics, and then we'll do the rest of them as we come back. So 10 minutes it is then. I will take the questions as soon as we are back from the breakout room. Or maybe these questions have noticed the problem I have. Let me check. Oh yeah, it could be the cache. Yeah. My assumption is that we didn't set the SSH key properly. Oh, I know what's the problem, because what is happening here is the following. It didn't clone it with SSH, and that can be the reason. Like, let's do this whole thing from the scratch. Look, cloning is working. That means everything was just HTTPS and SSH. There was a mismatch. The set URL didn't work properly. Exactly. Still the same thingy. No, yeah, we will create get ignore, but not now. This problem is different. Yeah, this could be the thing that I may have used the wrong key. So that means I need to go back and see what was the key name when I generated it. ED5519. ED25519. Yeah, no, this is the correct one. And also check the date. The key is correct. No, it's not. The set URL is correct. Oh, I know. Something else is preventing it because I have a lot of configs. Exactly. So these are all my config file. Perhaps something else is taking over. Problem conflicting host. Exactly. There is a wildcard host that is kind of like taking all of the repositories and putting it there for me. So the recommended fix for Git is to do that and that. Well, I'm not sure if I should do that. Let's actually do a copy of my config and then do this suggestion. There we go. Nay. Oh yeah, message add. The RSA file is not called like this. The file is called like different. So this guy needs to know. That's the reason the config failed, because the config was looking at that file. Holy moly. The whole time it was just a different file name, right? Yes, it's just a different file name. Their identity also added, and this time it's gonna work. 3, 2, 1, go. No. Clear cache. There we go. We did it. And now git push is basically uploading. Where is that file that it's uploading? Yeah. So from remote to this. So the git push command saves the files from local, or upload is the right. Uploads the file, the latest changes from local computer to github.com. This is the local branch to be discussed. And this is the remote branch. Branches are something we are going to discuss it soon. Okay. That has been done. Next is git pull, and then we should be good to go. All right, guys, so we're resuming 2 minutes earlier. Let's go back and then let's see how things are moving. All right, so the solution was that we were using a different file name, and GitHub was giving us a different file name, and the config was a different file name. So it was just the SH key local file name, and the config in the GitHub config, git config was different. And then we did the push. Now the push works. Now, if I explain it quickly, we have git push command that is taking time and uploading everything, basically all the changes that has been done since the last change. That's 219 kilobytes. And it saves it from the local main branch to the remote main branch. Now, if we go here and we command R, we'll see the change. What is it? This is the new file uploaded. Where? On the cloud of github.com. So now we got to know how to save files on GitHub. We need to know how to download files from GitHub. We partially did it by git clone, but there's another one called git pull. We will do that, and then we'll get to the complex part, which is git branching, git pull request, and then we're done with git. And what's the timer saying?
41 minutes.
41 minutes, perfect timing, perfect. So now git branching is a little bit complicated. I will try to explain it in this analogy of trees. That's when the rest of them, or even git pull, will make sense. Otherwise, like when you keep pushing things, like for example, if I do xyz.txt, and I put something in xyz.txt, and I do this git add dot, git commit added xyz.file, git push. It's going to save it there. If I refresh the page, you will see one more file here, git xyz. If I open it, you will see the xyz. If I'm one person using Git, I should be using Git anyways, anytime, all the time. But if I'm one person, Git branches is still as important, but you need to kind of like see it from a collaborative perspective. If you're building a project alone, or you're building a project with multiple people, then the true benefit of Git branches will be realized. But if you're using it as a solopreneur, still you must use Git branches, especially this thing that we'll check pull requests, because this is important for keeping your code tidy, especially as a vibe coder. You are someone who don't know so much code, or as an AI native developer, you don't know code so much in detail. Keeping it tidy in these branches will allow you to go back to the place where something was working. So let's do a little bit of Git branches, and then we'll go and start doing things. So the way that you create a new branch is called like this: git checkout-b, and then a branch name. Let's call this branch 1, just as an example. Nothing so serious, branch 1. And then all of these branch 1, 2, 3, 4 will make sense once we start building our Samantha frontend after the lunch break. Now you will see what happened. So this git branch 1 has a switch called B and as a name called branch 1. And pay attention to this and pay attention to this. So why am I not learning this tool very nicely? This and this. Okay, So what you see here is simply a command to create a new branch. That's basically for the first arrow. Very hard to understand. Okay, so that's for the first arrow. That's for the second arrow. That's for the third arrow. The fourth one is this one. And the fifth one. Let's describe all of them one by one. So the first one is a command to create new branches. That's it. And then the second arrow is the -b identifies that it is going to be a branch. It's a switch, and it's called a switch. And then branch 1, in this case, is the name of the branch. It can be a feature, for example, login page, or so on. And number 4, that main is the branch from where we derived or extended the branch. Now, the number 5 is the name of the new branch where we are currently based. So this is a very, very important topic. My OCD brain on fire. Okay. So what do we have now? We have simple branch that says branch 1. If I do this thing, I'm going to speed up a little bit, okay? Nothing is there, that's fine. We're going to create, we're going to touch and create a resume.txt, okay? And we're going to put something in resume.txt. And we'll put some that's my resume. And if I do this, cat resume.txt, it's there. Git push, git add, dot, git status, git commit, added resume.txt. If I push, now this is a little bit different. If this time I'm gonna git push, it will tell me something else. It's not gonna push immediately. Look, I'm in this branch and it's asking me to execute this. My current branch. And I should actually execute this command. Why? Because this way I create a new so-called stream. With this, I create a new branch on github.com. That's the whole concept of this. Like, it's asking me to execute this because with this command, I'm creating a branch on the upstream. Like, up means like the cloud stream. So until now, if I go to GitHub, if I refresh the page, you will see that there is only one branch. You'll see there's only one branch. Now, if I execute that command and then come back, I should see one more branch, which is branch 1. here, I'm executing this. It's uploading everything. Here. After executing this command, I created a new branch on github.com. Now, what do I do next? If I go here and I just refresh, you can also see this one. You can see this, but you don't see it here. You need to refresh to see that. But you get the point. Like, it's now on the cloud server of github.com, and you should be able to see this new branch. All right, I think it's enough of this terminal thingy. We're gonna go to lunch break in about, how much time do we have for the timer?
32 minutes.
32 minutes. I will get to the questions in just a minute. We were very, very close. So I created this branch. Now, you see what happens is, like, if I select from this dropdown this branch, you'll see I have resume, but in the other branch I don't have resume. If I change that, no, I don't want to type Persian. All right, now this is basically the concept of the branching. So you can create like the entire copy of your setup. I will check do some tick check if the stream is running. Yep, we lost 2 people. Maybe they're Git gurus, or they like to use Git GUI. Anyway, so we have main and we have branch 1. Now I'll take you to a little bit of a ride with me here. So there is one Git, let's say if that's time, that is time access. It's not. This is the 4-hour problem. We're reaching to the 4-hour limit and it's giving me that problem. Yeah, it's that 4-hour problem. It either loses the screen sharing. You can see that now it lost the screen. Good, good, thank you. Please catch it just in 2 minutes. I will be wrapping it up. So now what we do is we have this one branch called main. This is kind of like our main mothership, main branch. And then in each branch, we have this little so-called commits. Each of these lines, imagine, is one commit containing multiple changes of files. We can always go and see them when we type git log. When you type git log, you basically see all of these git commit histories. This is a missing feature in Xcali Draw, that it does not have this command D feature like Figma. it can kind of like keep going. But anyways, now when we do a git checkout, what happens is you do this thing. When I say git checkout -b, and I give it a name, call it branch 1, basically I'm creating a new timeline from there onwards. Not from there, but from everywhere here onwards. Obviously not having the until there. So imagine if I created the GitHub, the checkout always goes like straight down there. It's not a little bit with angle. It's like literally until there when the commits were like literally from that commit to the other commit. And then imagine if I did some changes, like literally these changes came inside this Git branch. I will use just some colors in order to identify which changes happen to which branch. Let's use this blue color for this branch 1. You can have like multiple branches. That's what I want to explain. And then when I am done with changes, then I put it back as a so-called PR or pull request. I put it back to this system, to the main branch with a PR, a pull request. Now, at the same time that I'm doing this, so you can imagine now these commits are coming. There's another concept called squash, which means like put all of these into one commit, but let's go with the simple mode, with the normal mode. So these blue ones happen in branch 1. That's fine. So literally these ones belongs to branch 1. For short, let's call it B1 so that we can save some time, some space. Now, what happens is I can have like multiple of these ones, right? At the same time, or maybe a couple of days later, I checked out another one from where I left here, and I did the same thing, but now I called it B2, a branch 2. And then I put it back to the system with a so-called pull request. Now, what can happen is if I'm alone, I can do these branches one by one by one. But when it gets complicated is that like this branch and this branch keeps growing at the same time. I don't do the pull request of this one here. I do the pull request of this one somewhere here. I keep working on it a little bit farther. Here, something like this. Something like this. I keep doing more commits. And then what happens is there is a little bit of overlap, as we can see here. These commits don't match, therefore this causes a so-called git conflict. And how to know this, like literally these commits and these commits, they may not match. These are very advanced commits from branch B2 branch. So when they don't match, then it creates a git conflict. So if they collide, then it can create a git conflict. So it's very advanced. I'm sure you guys will never get there, but it's good to see that that it can get that complicated. Okay, so I believe I'm pasting it in the wrong place. Yeah, I've been pasting it the whole time in the wrong place. Okay, we're done with Git basics. We will resume as soon as we are, I think from here onwards it can go to the next one. I will quickly, please don't leave everyone. I will quickly do the it's okay, I'll also take this. I will quickly do the, I will answer questions. We have a lot of questions unanswered, so I will do that in just a minute. Let me fix this, otherwise I will forget to do this. There you go. I think we're good to go. There we go. This is fixed. Let's answer the questions and then we go for our lunch break. So I reached downstairs. Thank you. You're with us now. Don't forget Git status. We already covered that. Super base setup steps shown in Notion is not showing how to add embeddings in the table. Would appreciate if detailed steps can be shown. Embeddings are not added from anywhere else but the, let's quickly take you there and show you where the embeddings are happening. It's on the n8n workflow. So the embeddings are happening up there to the cloud of Mr. Sam Altman. So when we do ingestions, this is where the embeddings are happening. And it comes back, and then this is the magic box that takes care of embeddings or storing it in the database. You create git ignore? Yes, we will. Maybe you are using wrong key. That was resolved. It was a wrong key name, not wrong key, but wrong key name in the config, not somewhere else. Git remote status. This was done. This was done. Okay, wonderful. Then we are pretty much set, pretty much pumped. A whole lot of terminal basics and Git basics are done today in matter of, what time is it right now? 1 p.m. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 4 hours. Non-stop. Even I didn't leave this chair. So we'll see each other in about 1 hour. Yesterday we got 30 minutes of a break. It was a little bit less, especially for us to do a little bit more social, Git social. And today we'll do it 1 hour. So it's 1 p.m., almost 1 p.m. now. Let's see each other at 1:50. So at 1:50 p.m. CEST, we'll see each other again. Bye, 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 bye. So let's go to the Riverside. Riverside is not happy after 4 hours. 3 hours, 48 minutes, that's good. See you guys in just a few hours.